Hello YouTubers, Charles here, back playing some more Kerbal Space Program. We've left Kerbin, and we are heading towards the moon. In fact, we just recently entered its sphere of influence. And we have quite a few number of missions we need to undertake. We need to position a satellite. And for some reason, I'm not seeing that right now. Okay, there we go. Once we focus on Kerbin, we see the satellite's orbit, or intended orbit. This satellite is currently docked to the nose of our spacecraft here, and I think at this point we want to basically plan out its path. Did a bit of that last time, but didn't save the maneuver. I'm going to try some adjustments here. Alright, we're pretty much on the level there. If we slow down more, is that going to bring us... We can't slow down too much. We basically, I want this purple line to be pretty close, or actually inside the intended orbit. The problem is we're going to have to get ahead of the moon. And, you know, that's actually... Well, no, that's actually not that great. Any slower and we get caught in the moon's orbit, basically. Alright, that works out to be there, and we're staying inside Kerbin's orbit, but just barely. But actually that looks like it's outside. But it's probably close enough that we could then do a maneuver there to circularize. So I think that's what we're going to do. That's 230 meters per second, which isn't too bad. So let's do this. Gonna no. Activate this stack decoupler. And that sends our ship ahead. Although we lost our maneuver. that's pretty good. I think. We may need to do one orbit and then come back on a second orbit, because we'll be really close to the moon and probably get re-picked up in the moon's influence, and then that will change our trajectory. But if we do a whole orbit like that, we won't line up with the moon again. So we have about an hour and 4 minutes. The only problem is we have our ship here that will have a burn soon after. So let's focus back on the moon. And there is Newloorf's heap, the ship that we have to rescue Chadsey Kerbin from. So I'm gonna put a maneuver here. That should give us a whole minute or so to perform the maneuver on the satellite. And we just want to get into orbit, something like that, I think. In fact, I'm going to raise the periapsis a bit. You're about 10. So that should be our periapsis, or our burn there. Let's guess we can't switch anymore. Are they too far? Oh, I was in the map screen. Probably doesn't work. Yeah, so here's the burn here, and we'll get close to the surface. Let's move this way slightly. About 14 kilometers. It'll be safe. Let's just make sure that didn't. Yeah, that still lines us up pretty good. But we'll actually be coming out here. But we'll still be relatively close. But I think the extra orbit around will help. So that should give us some time. They'll be a few kilometers apart by then, and I moved. And this burn is back here, where the lander's burn will be about here. So that will give us some time. But I think we're ready to move in. So let's well, first let's make sure we're on the satellite, and the satellite has everything it needs. We got liquid fuel, oxidizer, and electric charge, and we are charging. Maybe not fully directly. Let's go like that. That's pretty good. Now, we don't have any lights on this or anything, but we should be in the sun for this maneuver. So I'm gonna say warp here, just so we see what. Okay. So we're still good. We're now 10 kilometers ahead and about 3.5 minutes out. This is probably not going to be a very big burn, but because we haven't used this engine yet. Figured out its thrust versus our mass. We don't know how long the burn will be, but I'm guessing it's not going to be too much longer than like 15 seconds. To be safe, I'll start 10 seconds before the node and burn at a rate that this is like 20 seconds. So we'll end 10 seconds after. Alright, so let's get ready for this burn. We got about 20 seconds here. And we are passing by here pretty fast. So let's go in 3, 2, 1. Activate the engine. It's a little over, but I think that's good. Let's switch back here, and our burn here is in a minute. So let's spin around. A little too much. In fact, if we do this burn a little early, that would be great. So let's throttle up here. See, earlier we do it, yeah, we're at our periapsis instead of passing it. Actually, our periapsis is back there, or will be back there. Alright. Come in a little slow. We want to get this down to about 10. 12, 11. 10. Little past. That's fine. We're in orbit, and that's the important thing. We're gonna set that. Ooh. We're gonna set that as our target, and we're coming pretty close. If we add a maneuver here. I think we slowed up just a bit too much. Come on, give me the controls. Not. Oh, we passed. That's why. Should not have turned around. Now it's time for RCS. Let's remove that. And we're we're just going to thrust until... Well, 0.4, 0.5, that seems pretty good. Alright, so we have... Let's add a maneuver there, 51 minutes. So we'll be coming around, not even once, and this will be going like 1.25 times around. Let's switch, since we have 50 minutes, let's switch back to the probe. And see... Alright, this is showing it escaping. The view we just had looked like it was not escaping. Let's rename... Kerbin Far Satellite with a capital S, because it's going to be a pretty far satellite. Alright, so yeah, we passed our lowest point. Let us, here we go. I'm gonna add a maneuver there and see what happens if we slow down. That's okay. And that's pretty close to the orbit we want. So that's in, well, almost exactly 4 hours. So, I'll leave that there. And, we can switch back to, our ship here. And know that we have 4 hours. I don't have Kerbal alarm clock or anything like that, but I do know we're going to intercept here in, well, about 50 minutes. So if we perform that intercept and then take a few orbits, we should be able to handle the satellite and get it into its orbit. Let's close that up. So we're working on rescuing. We are still using this engine, although to get the final adjustment we basically just use RCS thrusters. We can get rid of these at this point. So long. I hope that didn't actually adjust our intercept by much. No. We're comparatively infinite massed. Not really, but this shut off so quickly because it got most of the velocity. We were pushed, if at all, very, very slightly this direction. So, that's gone. Little piece of debris. It will be orbiting. But it leaves our nose free, so we can get crew members in and out more easily. Let's extend our antenna here. That's the satellite there, heading off, and I think we're ready for some. What can I warp? I want to warp. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to warp here. But you know what? That worked. We went around. You can see the ship here came around, and we're now approaching each other. We may be able to see it, although apparently not quite. It should be... Oh. Not directly down, but slightly... Oh, there it is! Here we go. Oh, we still are in time warp a bit. So we got this node counting down. We got... Well, 11 minutes in mark. And, closer and closer. Now, I don't want to look at the blue thing, even though I have a maneuver that's just to get the relative timing done. What I want to do, this is in target mode, is basically point retrograde and slow to a stop once we get close. I'm going to stop here, time warping, in just a minute or so. We'll stop about 2 minutes beforehand, although that will be a bit sooner than... So I'll go to a minute. Alright, we're 4 kilometers away. I'm going to get rid of this. We're in target mode. I want to face retrograde. Looks like we'll have about 50 meters per second or so to lose. And that's retrograde there. We kind of went past it a bit, and now we're spinning and circling around it. Come on, Jeb. You can lock in there. There you go. And about 60 meters per second. In fact, here we go. There we go. We have basically stopped. We should be in very similar orbit. In fact, it says we'll be, well, 0.4 meters away in 8 minutes. But it is now time to go save Chadzee Kerbin. Oh wow, he is out here in one of these Mark 1 cockpits. Crew report. Let's keep that data and let's EVA out here. Take data. We are going to let go. Let's take an EVA report. I think we've already taken an EVA report. There it is. Let's turn on your rocket pack. Turn that way. And fly forward and up a bit. Turn on your lights. You do not look happy. Taking a Steam screenshot apparently turns on and off the forces overlay. Alright, we're getting close. Going a bit fast. Slow down, slow down. Alright, here we are. Just a few meters away. I think we're on the wrong side. Down, down. Alright, forward. I'm not sure which one is empty. Hope it's this one. Grab. Board. Okay, I guessed right. So, wait, that was... Oh, Newloorf. Chazzy's on the sun. I gotta keep these guys straight. He's about the only, rescue we're not doing this time. Okay. Well, that was accomplished. So, we are here in this orbit that's between 13 and 10 kilometers. And I think we can just sit in this orbit for a while. We have a satellite to get here. How long is this orbit? It's... we're 33 minutes from there. And 13... It's easy to say when you're on, or just about to get to 1, because... Or when you've just passed 1, it will say what it is. But from... If this is, say, 13 out, and this is 33 out, that means it's 20 minutes on this side, so you can assume it's also 20 minutes on this side. So it's about 40 minutes per orbit. We need to take care of this satellite, though, and it's, at this point, probably has 3 hours left, so we can do 4 or 5 orbits here safely. So I don't think that's an issue. We're gonna unset that as a target. Well, now it makes sense why it's Newloorf's heap, because it's the remains of his spacecraft. Okay. I wonder where Chazzy is. No, that's not him. Oh, wow. And here I thought he was just outside of Kerbin's orbit. That is going to take some rescuing to get. Okay. I am going to switch to the far satellite, which is going okay. Yeah, according to this, we are going to escape in 2 hours and 51 minutes. And then shortly thereafter, we have a burn that hopefully won't put us back. Otherwise, we can, as I said, do another orbit and go from there. So I'm going to say, can we, that's the map screen, but we can't really set a maneuver or a warp to point for some reason. So I'm just going to time warp here. We see the lander, or what will be the lander, orbiting around as we ourselves, or as the moon orbits Kerbin, and we try to leave the moon. So right now we're traveling faster than the moon, that's why we're going to leave. But, so the moon is going to be at that position when we leave? That doesn't really make... Oh, it will be there. We'll be here, but it will be here. So we will still be ahead of the moon. Just trying to make sense of what this is showing. Yeah, when we get here, the moon will actually be there, but we'll actually be here. This is just relative to the moon, while these are relative to Kerbin. So they've done a few orbits. They're plenty high enough that no fear of the ground getting in the way. They're at least twice the altitude of the tallest mountain, if not more than that. So the moon we will be escaping soon. And we just have to hope this dotted line doesn't get recaptured when everything gets recalculated after we leave. We're going to escape in just a few minutes here, so I'm going to get ready to slow down. And everything does get... Alright. I'm just going to adjust this. What? No, what happened? Why did that go away? New maneuver. Alright, see, that's what we don't want to happen. Something like that. 127 meters per second. And we have plenty of fuel for that. This is, I think, even less than our initial maneuver. So, we should be good on fuel. And we're pretty good on electricity. So we got about a minute and a half. So let's time warp in here. Alright, I'm gonna burn at 10 seconds or so. Don't need to be too exact, I don't think. How's that look? Will this be good? And it is. So we have a satellite in orbit. Not only can it survey Kerbin from way up here, I think it will relay messages to the far side of the moon for most of it. So, we have that contract done. Well, we can transmit that, but it won't really do us much good. How much? Zero science added, but decent test of the electrical system. We are getting. Let's. Well, 0.99 is about the best as we can do. We'll get about 1 electricity every 3 seconds or so, which isn't too bad. Well, can we? No, not Newloorf's heap. Well, we can switch to it. And then, no nearby objects. How far? Oh, we have drifted apart. So, here we are. Newloorf and Jebediah in the To the Moon 2. We basically want to get science data from the surface. Of course, that means landing, and that will complete a contract for landing, contract for recovering or transmitting scientific data, and one contract that covers both. And I'm sure we can plant the flag while we're there, but that's gonna have to be next time, because we're out of time with this episode by quite a bit, I would say. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with some more Kerbal Space Program. Thanks for watching.